Hello, Bears fans. It's Let's Talk Chicago Bears after week 3. We won 30-26. What a game. If you missed it, I'm sorry you did. And it was really a great game, was it not? Lots of takeaways from this game. Um, let's start with, let's start with the officiating. Well, we'll start with that first because the officiating was awful yesterday. First of all, they took 7 points off the board. That was a touchdown. And Robinson in the end zone. He took it all the way down to the ground, and then when he hit the ground, the guy took it away from him. Well, that was a touchdown. They should never have overturned that. That has got to be reviewed by the league because that was a big blunder. And then, when they called that roughing the passer against us, Hicks, which by the way, I'm wearing Hicks today in honor of the great game he had yesterday. Can you see it's Hicks? um, where they called it roughing it was not. If you saw him, Hicks was coming around and his arms were like this and he fell basically he fell into him, but he did not drive him to the ground. That was another bullshit call. And then the no call on Cohen where he ruined his ACL and now he's out the rest of the year. That should have been a roughing the player call because he did a fair call catch, fair, saying he was going to catch it, fair. And the guy hit him, and they said he was pushed into him. No, he wasn't. When they replayed it, he was not pushed into him. And he tears his ACL. Should have been at least 15 yards on that one. What the hell? It was a terrible ref game yesterday. I can't speak. And so so Mitchell gets taken out. Now, I am only going to say I'm first of all, I'm torn. But at the end of the day, I want to win. And right now, it does seem that Nick Foles, and I'm sure everybody back in Illinois has been Nick Foles is the man. Um, he did it. There's no doubt about it. But we really don't know if Mitchell couldn't have done it because he did do it 2 weeks ago. And the thing about Mitchell is he threw that ball that should have been 7 points. They took it away from us. And the kicker missed a 48-yarder in the first quarter. That's 10 points that Mitchell got subtracted from his day yesterday. Yes, he overthrew. There was no doubt about it. He's thrown off his back foot again. So, and then he threw the interception. But I guess at the end of the day, I just wanted Mitchell to succeed. You know what I mean? He seems like a good kid and this and that. But the thinking about it is he didn't play enough in college. And maybe had he played another year, maybe he wouldn't have been recruited so high. Because in my opinion, whoever scouted him and told the Bears that he was going to be something, saw something that nobody else did and never saw it again because it just ain't there. I'm sorry. Mitchell is, as it seems right now. Now, I also believe that Nagy doesn't like Mitchell and never really has. He liked him when they were 12-4. And then last year, Nagy tried to make him into a quarterback. As I've said many times, he's not. He's more of a run around, throw him, run around, get first downs, that kind of stuff. He doesn't sit back like Nick Foles and scold the field and then throw the ball, which he's not a packet passer, and no, Nick is. So last year Nagy wanted him to be what he was, and that's when I said to my son, and I said anybody listen, Nagy don't want him as his quarterback. That was in Nagy's mind last year. He's like in the next year, meaning this year, he in his mind already last year. He's like, I'm not going to have him as my quarterback. I said that it was just a matter of time. He probably had a list, and once Mitchell did something, the fourth thing, that's it, you're out. Because I don't think he liked him. So, but the Bears did give Mitchell a fair chance. He's been here 4 years, and he just couldn't do it. So, maybe he's just a good backup. He could make a career as a backup. Look at that Fitzgerald dude who's 38, 39 in Miami, has 1,000 kids, a beard down to here. and he's still playing, and he's only a second stringer because he's never going to win. He's never won any big games, and he won't. So or Mitchell, maybe he'll get lucky and go to another team that has a good quarterback coach or somebody that can work with them, and maybe they can turn it around somewhat. But unfortunately, it's not going to be with the Chicago Bears. So Nick Foles will be starting on Sunday in Soldier Field against the Indianapolis Colts. We know that. Okay. So we talked about, the obvious. We talked about losing Cohen, which really sucks. So now I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, we got Morgan, Montgomery, of course, but they were a trio. So I'm not sure what's going to happen. I'm sure they're working on it. So, and God bless you, Tariq. I feel really bad for you. So, and and anybody who has a Tariq Cohen jersey should wear it the rest of the year. My son's fiance wears his because he has a couple jerseys. He wears his Mac one and she wears the Cohen one, and now she's going to have to wear it the next all year. Now you can't change up because a couple years ago, when Long got hurt, our offensive lineman, I can't think of his first name, Kyle. And I had a jersey of his. That's actually it's the only white jersey I own of the Bears. All of them are dark blue, like this one. And after he got hurt, I wore it the rest of the year. I didn't wear anything else. Didn't matter win, lose, or whatever. I just did it out of respect for him and saying we got you, man. So if you're a Cohen, got a Cohen jersey at home, you better be wearing it. All right. Hicks had one hell of a day yesterday. He had a sack and a half. He had five. Well, I read somewhere five, and then I read somewhere six, but it doesn't matter. We'll say six. Hurries on the quarterback. He hit the quarterback once. He was just a beast yesterday. So 96 is my man. So that's why I'm wearing his jersey today, and I love him anyways. And like I said, anybody goes to Regina College, you gotta love him. No, but he had a great game, and he's leading the team in sacks. But Mac looked much better last yesterday, but he was being held a lot. And I don't know. That officiating team, there was holes we saw, and they were not calling them. I would really look into it. I've never ever said something like that before. I know a lot of people. Oh, they're paid and this and that, and I'm always like, no, they're not. And but that officiating team yesterday, they just did not do a good job. And guess what? The Bears won anyways, assholes. Boom. So they let's see. Okay, so there's some things the Bears though are still the one thing about our defense is they cannot stop the run, and part of the problem is our linebackers. Danny Trevathan down. I didn't think we should sign him when his contract was last year. I wouldn't have brought him back. I thought he was on the other end. Rokon Smith, I think he led the team in tackles yesterday, but he can't do it all. And I forget who was the third. See, I can't even remember who's the third linebacker, but they're bad. So that's why we're not running well. Because once they get past the defensive line, those linebackers are supposed to stop them, and they're not doing it. Our secondary is really balling it right now, and I hope they just get better and better and better and better. So our defense has got to really work on that run because you can't let teams run up and down on you. You just can't. So I'm sure they're going to, but I'm glad to see Mac is feeling better, which gives Quinn. At one point, there was a play that they had Quinn and Mac on the same side of the line, and it completely confused Atlanta. So that was a good thing. And they ended up not getting a third down because of it. We have the other problem is our third down efficiency offensively. We right now are 15 of 42 attempts. So what it means is 42 times we were third and whatever, and only 15 times did we convert it in 3 games. That's not good. You have got to convert third downs. The thing is, you've got to make it be able to make the third down. So if you're heading into the third down, you should have at least 6 or 5 yards to go. Anything higher is hard, so you should never have to beat. So let's get that third down conversion fixed because it's just not going to work because the league average is just better than that. We're just on the bottom when it comes to that. And then the bugaboo penalties, penalties, penalties. What have I said the last 3 weeks? And Nagy even said something. I heard him yesterday. I thought, you're an idiot. No. He said, the last 2 games before this game, we really did good with penalties. No, week 2, they had 8. And it was like 80 something yards. That is not good, Matt. See, he doesn't get it. And they had over 10 penalties yesterday. I could not find it. It's like they hide those stats from me on Monday because I don't want us to find out, right? But I know it was over 10. Terrible. You cannot, again, win championships with 10 penalties. What the hell? See, Nagy doesn't even know. He said, oh, we had kept them down the first 2 weeks. No, you didn't. First week, they were pretty good for the first week without preseason. I was kind of impressed because I think they only had like 6. But they had 8 on the second week. So that you go over 5, forget it. Forget it. That's not good. So that shows you. But I will give Nagy one thing. He actually had timeouts at the end of the game. I said to my son Mike, I'm like, oh my God, look, we actually have times out. Even he was like, oh my God, because Nagy always blows those. Usually 1 in the first half and the other 2 in the third quarter. So he's gotten better on that, time managing a little bit better. But I know everybody loves Nagy, and he has changed the culture of the team. There's no doubt. I like a lot of things that he's done. I just have something in here that I can't figure out that bugs me about him. I'm not 100% committed to him, like other coaches. I like him. He's done some good stuff. There's no doubt about it. I can't deny it. But there's just something about him, and this really got me. And I heard him say it more than one time yesterday. He was asked. He said it right after the game, and then he said it later in the evening. Because I was listening on the way home after I left my son's house to go home. I was listening to the press conference, and they said, "So how did you do it, Coach? Did you tell Mitchell that there's a short string today? Did you tell him? Did you just go up to him and say we're gonna sit you and put Nick in now and let's talk about this? How to do it?" He said, "Nope. I just went up to him and said we're putting Nick in." A little cold. You want to, and I'll finish. I'll come back to that later. But then, and he said it several times. Then they didn't make him, but he did it, and I give Mitchell a lot of props. He did it. He did the after game press conference, and he stood up there and took the questions. And you got to give him credit because inside he's crying, he's pissed, he's all those things. He's happy that the team won, of course, because he's a team player, but he's competitive, and that's his job. So now he knows I'm screwed. Now I've got one foot out the door. He knows that Chicago is not where he's not gonna end his career here in Chicago, and he knows it. And I just so I give him props for doing the press conference. But when asked about how they said something like when Nagy came up and told you what did he say? And he's like, Nagy didn't tell me. He said the assistant coach came up and said the coach is benching you. We're putting Nick in. So Nagy lied. So you know what I mean? See, me, because it's a long season. So my biggest fear is benching Mitchell too early in the season. So then you start to mess with his head. So he was taken out right after the interception, right? Okay. So now you're messing his head. He's like, oh man. And then you replace him. We won. Don't get me wrong. I love my Bears. I want to win. But there's a whole season to go. So Nagy needs to sit down with Mitchell and make him understand everything. And because you might need him. What if all of a sudden Foles gets hurt? I hope. Please don't let that happen. Or he starts to not do good. You might have to put Mitchell back in. And if you screwed with his head and you've lost all his confidence in him and you and him. So it's a very slippery slope. You got to be very careful because I saw it happen many years ago, and some people might remember Tom Zach. he was our quarterback. McMahon went down, and Tom Zach went in. Um, and he was doing really well, really really well. And then he kind of tweaked his shoulder a little bit, and he made one mistake, and he sat out one game. That's right, because he tweaked his shoulder. So then, and it might, you know what, it might have been. I don't think that McMahon was there because Doug Flutie was there. So then he puts Doug Flutie in for the week he was hurt, and then when he came back, Tom Zach, he made like one mistake and he yanked him out of the game. It was like, what the hell? You know, and then Tom Zach was never really the same. He really screwed with his confidence, and because Tom Zach was a pretty decent quarterback, he may not have taken a team to the Super Bowl. He may. I've seen worse quarterbacks. Dent, Trilford, or whatever, Trent Dilford. He went, and he is not a good quarterback. And they went and won the Super Bowl with, God, was that Washington? I should know, but he didn't. He's not a good quarterback. And Tom Zach could have done that, or he could have had a solid career, but it did get messed with his head. So I just saw that firsthand, and it just worries me, you know. But I want Nick in like everybody else. Do not get me wrong, because I love a W every single day. And I love my Bears, you know that. So me and Michael were, Amanda, his fiance, she was like, because we were so down in the third quarter. And we were just like, oh my God, you know, da, 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 da. And then Cohen gets hurt. And then all of a sudden, we were just going crazy. We were jumping around. It was great. So it is definitely fun when the Bears win. So let's see what else. Oh, I do have to sing the victory song, and I want you all to sing it with me, okay? So I want you all to sing the victory song with me. Come on, give me again. Let me get that. Hang on a second. Let me get to the victory song. Hang on. All right, you guys ready? All right. I have to take my glasses off so I can read it, because it's such a dumb song. I can't memorize it. So I want everybody out there to get ready, and let's sing the victory song for every time, you know, the Bear. You're supposed to sing this after they score a touchdown. Obviously, we can't do that, so we're going to do it today. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Bear down, Chicago Bears. Make every play, clear the way to victory. Bear down, Chicago Bears. Put up a fight with a might so fearlessly. You'll never forget the way you thrilled the nation with your T formation. Bear down, Chicago Bears, and let them know why you're wearing the crown. You're the pride and joy of Illinois. Bear down, Chicago Bears. See, that song don't make no sense. It really doesn't, does it? I don't get it. But, uh-oh. I gotta get you guys back. Where'd you go? Oh, no. Hello? Where'd you guys go? Oh no, I lost you. Hello? Oh no. Oh no, I can't find you. Oh no, where are you? Well, this sucks. You're out there and I don't know where you are. Okay. Well, this is not good, guys. I've lost my screen and I don't know how to get it back. Oh my God. Oh, hello. Oh my gosh, what did I do? Well, this is just not good, guys. I don't know what I did. There we go. I'm back. Was that freaking funny or what? I guess you could see me, right? Freaking out trying to get it. All right. That's the That was the 4 minutes of humor to my show this week. I know what to do when I lose you because now I know how to find you again. I'm crazy, aren't I? I know, crazy like a fox. All right, guys. So we will be back later in the week. I will for sure be back on Friday. I may do a Wednesday show, but for sure Friday we will come back and we will talk about the Bears and the Indiana Colts for week 4. So everybody love everyone. Be respectful to everyone and keep on rocking and rolling. Oh boy.